Greetings, beloved beings. My name is Izobel Freeman, and this is my placeholder video for the week of August 27th through September 2nd, 2017. As many of you who've been following my readings know, I took a trip to get in the path of totality for the Great American Solar Eclipse on the 21st. Since this week's reading is supposed to be released the day after I return, I'm shooting this video in advance before I leave, but I've got a really strong impulse to wait until I get back to film the general reading. I just have this feeling I'm going to come back from my trip with some great new insights and universal downloads, and I'd really like to be that person when I do this week's reading. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this week's astrological forecast in this video, because I don't want you all to wait on that part, and I'll do some shortcuts to tide you over until I can film this week's full general reading, which I promise to do as soon as possible. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you'll see that video once it's available. In the meantime, please enjoy these bonus shortcuts. For those of you who are new this week, I've said in previous readings that I'm doing my best to give you all a basic astrological forecast in addition to reading cards, because we often get messages regarding the week's energetic climate, and the cards themselves also have so many astrological correspondences. I want you all to have context for these, so here we go. Today, Sunday the 27th, Mars forms a conjunction with a point in the sky called the North Node. The nodes are two imaginary points in the moon's orbit where it intersects the ecliptic or path of the sun, and many astrologers assign special meanings to the north and south nodes. The north node corresponds to one's karmic destiny or what lessons one needs to learn in order to be satisfied in this life. So when Mars and the north node line up, the red planet of ambition, passion, and the will to power can give your drive to succeed a big boost. You might feel particularly motivated, inspired, or just plain feisty today. So be sure to channel that explosive energy into whatever it is you're looking to create in life. You'll be getting some extra help with this because today is also the day when Jupiter and Saturn form a harmonious and rare sextile relationship. For those of you new to astrology, while this isn't as steamy as it might sound, it's still great news. Jupiter and Saturn don't line up like this very often due to their long orbits and differing speeds. So be sure to take advantage as Saturn, the planet of rules, structure, and discipline, teams up with Jupiter, the planet of good fortune and expansion. When they cooperate, it can be a great time to really apply yourself when it comes to your goals, major projects you've been planning, or any long-term endeavor that requires focus and consistency. So those of you who have big dreams, spend some time today getting to work on them, because the planets have really aligned to help bring you success. Then, after a few days of relative quiet, on Thursday the 31st, Mercury in retrograde enters the sign of Leo, on its way to a significant alignment with the same point in the sky where the total solar eclipse occurred. It's a good day to take a look at whether or not you're communicating authentically in your life. Are you expressing who you really are at heart? If not, now is a great time to start. It's also a good time to be on the lookout for news about any endeavors you began around July 25th, when Mercury first left Leo, because this point is getting revisited on Thursday. On Saturday the 2nd, Mars trines Uranus, which makes for an exciting day. Mars is the planet of ambition, personal power, and, well, animal instinct. So when it forms a harmonious relationship with Uranus, the planet of radical self-expression, reinvention, and revolution, you may feel inspired to take more risks, be more assertive, and try new things when it comes to what you want in life, in your career, and in your intimate relationships. Be sure to stay heart-centered and grounded, or you may get more than you bargained for if you take things too far. But if you're acting out of inspiration rather than desperation, you might be pleasantly surprised when you take that risk or explore that new territory. Just remember to consider the greatest good of everyone involved, and I'm sure you'll find a safe and fun way to express yourself this Saturday. Okay, that's it for the astrology forecast. I didn't want to leave you all hanging for that part. And since you're being so patient so I can record this week's reading when I get back from my eclipse walkabout, here are some awesome bonus shortcuts for today. As I do in all my readings, I'm going to begin by lighting my little candle for my beautiful spirit kitty Pinky, who was in physical with me until 2015 and was and still is my greatest spiritual teacher. All right, Pinky, non-physical friends, all interested and benevolent beings, help us out with some great shortcuts. I was inspired to do the first one with this lovely Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. Yeah, so Those of you who have seen my readings before know that when I do my shortcut process, and this process is an intuitive process I came up with for myself to do some quick, short, and sweet readings from oracle decks. And I like to just begin by seeing what's on the bottom. All right, the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Any of you who are reeling from the recent crazy eclipse energy and all the stuff that's going on in the world, and yeah, things are intense. But it looks like the guides and all our non-physical friends and God, Goddess, Source, and the Holy Spirit want us to know that it's going to be okay. Everything in the end comes back to love. Love is what we are made of. Love is where we come from. Love is home. And I want you to know only love is real. So miracles are supposed to occur naturally in your life. And Spirit has your back. And the only way that miracles can occur, the only way that we can recognize miracles is sometimes when we're in the midst of some contrast in our lives, some hard stuff, some stuff that may give the light something against which to shine. Like something that's bright looks even more beautiful when it's against a dark background. So sometimes we're going through these rough and rocky periods and crazy energy shifts and drama in our lives. And it's all in preparation so that we can have beauty and inspiration and appreciation for the gorgeous things that do come into our lives as a result of all the transformative stuff that's going on. Second part in my shortcut spread or shortcut process is that I just cut. Horus, Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. I believe I said in the last reading and previous readings, whenever I've been talking about this solar eclipse, that many people on the planet have been talking about the solar eclipse as a cosmic gateway. Now, we've just come through that cosmic gateway. We may not know what it means just yet, because eclipses can have immediate effects, but they can also have effects that are wide-ranging for several days, weeks, months, even into years, depending on how intense the energy surrounding the eclipse is. And this one was particularly intense. Very, very special things going on right now. A lineup between the eclipse and the fixed star Regulus, which is the star historically attributed to kingship and power on the planet. Also some really amazing other planetary alignments that were going on, like that grand fire trine with Uranus and Saturn. Horus, really super amazing energy coming through. Great. Whenever I see this card, it always makes me feel that there's something ancient on our side. And this card is crooked. Look at this. He's wanting to slide off, and I think, yep, there she is. I knew it was her. I'm just going to let y'all have that just for now. But again, back to Horus. Whenever I look at this card, it really speaks to me of this ancient culture behind so many of our mystical traditions. When they talk about the Hermetic tradition, or they talk about ceremonial magic, it all goes back to Egypt. Egypt is this sort of hazy, mystical time in our history where we all look back and magic seemed to be real and gods seemed to be almost walking among us. Otherworldly beings that were larger than life and could show us secret things and just raise our consciousness in ways that we may not have considered exploring before. So here's Horus to tell us about our thoughts being magnetic and powerful. This is all speaking to law of attraction. Miraculous changes. Again, expect miracles, miraculous changes. Wow. This is why I have always, ever since I heard about this eclipse, had the feeling that it is the catalyst for some sort of miracle here on the planet. Some sort of thing where we're not going to be able to see a way out of things, and yet something beautiful happens anyway. Something comes out of this that we were not expecting and that none of us saw coming. And this is just more of that. And to remind us that law of attraction dictates that how we think and how we believe and how we feel is what manifests in our lives. And that we are really in the driver's seat. We are actually, little gods in training on this planet. That we have power that we cannot begin to comprehend, and that things are working to our best, for our best good, through miraculous changes. Beautiful. Okay, Lady Venus was just kind of sneaking out underneath here, so I want to show her to you. She's been popping up in shortcuts from this deck for weeks. And I know she's just gone into Leo, which is great. So we are getting this amazing burst of energy from her. She's been in Cancer most of the month. And yeah, she wants us to know that she's sending us downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. This has been happening throughout this entire eclipse season, and I hope all of you are taking some time, some quiet time to integrate everything that you're getting, because it's intense and it's been very overwhelming. And I have been doing my best to make full use of all of the new information and the new insights that I've been getting. And Lady Venus just popping in here yet again to tell us, to remind us that her energy of love, her energy of divine feminine and support and enlightenment is still with us. Great. Okay. Third part of the shortcut process is that I just cut again. Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Obstacles are being removed. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. So we have support from the Holy Spirit telling us to expect miracles. Obstacles are being removed. Yeah, Ganesh is that wonderful, happy, joyful God who takes things out of our way. Things that we thought maybe could not be rectified in our lives. Things that we maybe have not seen previous solutions for. And Ganesh is here to let us know that no matter how rocky things have been, no matter how bumpy the ride has been up until now, we have support. All of these are very supportive cards. Miraculous changes, truth being revealed, you're getting deep insights, expect miracles, obstacles are being removed. Beautiful. What a wonderful spread. All right. Let's do another shortcut. I felt inspired to get out a deck that I have not cut from you for you yet. This is the Flower deck from Doreen Virtue. It's very gentle and beautiful and really supportive, especially for those of you who are going through some crazy and some deep life changes and even physical challenges. This is a really loving and tender, sentimental sometimes deck. And it's full of unconditional love, and I really have enjoyed working with it so far. As I say in all my reading videos, you other tarot readers who are out there doing wonderful work are more than welcome to use my shortcut spread or my shortcut process. Or any of the spreads that I use in my videos. I use something called the Quick Cross in my general reading videos. These are all spreads that I have intuitively come up with for myself, and I have made them available for you through Creative Commons license. You just need to attribute them to me, link to my website, which is www.shinyallthetime.com. And you can find all the required attribution information at shinyallthetime.com/cc. And CC stands for Creative Commons. You can just cut and paste what you need from there and go ahead and use these. I am very excited to see what you do with them. Let's see what's on the bottom for this deck. Right, everyone? Be positive. Bromeliad. Your thoughts can shape your experience, so be sure to focus on the positive. What did we just hear? That, your thoughts are what are creating your reality, and to be aware of them. And the state of positivity and love, like feel that, the pink and green off of this card is just wonderful. These are the colors of the heart chakra. And the feeling that you have in your heart becomes like a magnet. It really, really does. Thoughts are magnetic. That's what they just said from this shortcut. Thoughts are magnetic. The more you focus on the positive, I know that sometimes it could be really rough to do that, especially within things that are going on in the world, things going on that are right in your face and very real. But the more you do it, that's the real work. The real work in this world, because this is a world of 3D reality, and it's a world that is designed to give us contrast. Give us contrast so that we can grow. Sometimes, the plant needs to be pruned, or the roots need to be repotted, and it's not a very fun process for a plant, but in order to grow and expand, it needs to happen. So the things in your life that you don't like, that maybe are not to your preference right now, are what some people like to call the grit for the oyster. That irritant, necessary irritant that is required to create a pearl. And something precious can be born out of that as long as you stay positive. And once you do the gentle, consistent work of doing that, staying positive in your life, you're going to start seeing it. Maybe not right away, because this is a time-based reality, and there's a little bit of a time delay before you might start seeing reflections back that are showing you that you're moving in the right direction. But if you're consistent and gentle with yourselves and you stay positive, eventually, it is the law of the universe that things must turn in your direction as long as you believe and keep control over your own thoughts and how you feel in your heart. Your thoughts can shape your experience. Be sure to focus on the positive. Let's cut. In order to be positive, try some laughter. Wattle. Uplift yourself and those around you through loving laughter. I don't know if this card needs any more explanation. It's a simple, joyful, like you can see this yellow. It's the color of the solar plexus chakra. It's where laughter seems to live. And the more you can have a sense of humor about what's going on, I know that sounds really, really silly, or even could be angry making to some of you, because maybe what you're going through is not laughable. Maybe you don't want to make light of the really, truly serious things that are happening in your life. In that case, you may find that rather than laughing about the situations that are actually going on, try to distract yourself through laughter. Maybe watch some funny movies. Maybe hang out with that person that always makes you laugh. But laughter is a vibration that goes out into the universe. And if you are making happy, joyful vibrations, you send that out into this beautiful vibration-based universe that will reflect things back to you, and good things must come. I have heard so many stories about people who induced healing in their own bodies and in their own lives through focusing on being joyful and adding laughter to their lives. All right, great. Cut. Magnify your intentions, baby's breath. Choose a specific goal to work toward. Your energy is spread out among too many ideas right now. Maybe some of you are feeling a little overwhelmed. Please bring your focus back to the key intention and let your angels help. This really feels like that day where we're going to get Jupiter and Saturn working together, and also Mars is, it's today. What am I thinking? It's today. You can see how many of these videos I've been doing at once, and they all start to blend when I'm doing them back to back like this. And it's today that this is happening for us. So today's a great day to think about what intentions that you're going to be choosing to magnify. When they say your energy spread out among too many ideas, this is a lot of the readings leading up to this one have been talking about how some of you are feeling that overwhelm. I remember a couple weeks back we got that 10 of Fire card, where a lot of you were really had too much going on and didn't know how in the world you were going to get it all done, especially with just your ego mind and your 3D powers and your physical strength. So yeah, this card is asking you to focus, gently asking you to focus. This is the pure white light of the crown chakra. This is also, it feels like this card is asking you to let in non-physical, let your angels help. This is this card's way of saying, let in your non-physical aid. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do any of this alone, no matter what cans of worms have been opened up by the eclipse and or what is going on that's really hard in your life. You do not have to do this alone. You have so many loving guides, so many non-physical friends, perhaps people in your life who you loved and who loved you, who have passed on, who are still interested in your process and wanting to help. If you reach out to those benevolent beings, the ones who are really on the side of good, who are light-based, who are interested in our process and interested in the greatest good of everyone on this planet, you may be surprised at the reservoir of amazing power that comes in and comfort and new ideas and inspirations. This is a really beautiful card about making sure that you're focusing on what you love the most, what idea you really want to manifest into reality next, and get to that key intention and also ask for help. Maybe there are people here in physical that embody what you would like to become next, and you could get some inspiration from them. But this card is definitely specifically referencing non-physical help. So here we go. Great. Beautiful spread. I really do like this deck. Any of you who are interested in acquiring any of these decks for yourself, I do have a resources section at shinyallthetime.com. It's shinyallthetime.com/resources, or you could just click the resources link at the top of any page and you may purchase these cards for yourself. I hope you do and do great good with them. Wonderful. All right. Because this is a neat bonus reading, I kind of got the inspiration to do one more from this psychic tarot deck that we've been having such great luck with recently. No, it's not luck, it's synchronicity, but we've got great readings off of this deck so far. And this deck is very much about the deep transformational aspects of our life's journey, and it's very profound. And I'd like to see what it has to say, especially in this week following the eclipse. All right, everyone, stand your ground. 7. This is that number of fortune. There's a reason why it's lucky 7, or it's all 7s. This card, doesn't it feel like the eclipse? Wow, look at that. Look at this amazing energy that's just coming rocketing out of this heavenly body here to this person who is brave enough to stand and be who they are. This really does feel like that Mercury going into Leo, figuring out who you're going to be and communicating that to the world. This is so much power. I'm really excited to do the general reading because of the amount of power that I'm feeling off of this card. Stand your ground. This also has to do with being assertive for the good in the world, to stand up for the good of all beings on this planet at this time. There's never been a more important time to stand up for the good, to realize that we're all in this together and that there is no us versus them. There really needs to be unity on this, our planet Earth, and in our earthly family, that things that have been problems in the past need to be rectified through cooperation and not competition. This is really heroic, beautiful, brave, and ultimately good energy here. Great. Okay, let's cut. Wow. How eclipse in Leo does that get? Power. 8 following 7. 8, the number of your eternal nature and ultimate power. 8 is always a power number. The strength card in tarot, in traditional tarot systems, usually is the 8. And this, obviously, in this deck corresponds to that strength major arcana card, where you have this tremendous Leo energy that has been the basis for this eclipse season. And you have this like energy of kingship. Like I said in the beginning about the star Regulus being the star of kings. This is about exercising our power in noble, responsible, loving ways. You can feel the nobility of this card. It almost feels like the Aslan character from Narnia, where you have this lion who's all about nobility and love, acting through love. This very kingly and almost the divine Christ consciousness energy. Or any of the kings that you love who are noble from, say, Lord of the Rings, or any fantasy story that you love, and you have this noble fatherly figure who acts out of concern for the best interests of his people. This is a beautiful energy to have following that eclipse gateway. It really feeds into these play nice together, and it just speaks to our own royalty, our own responsibility to act as stewards for not only each other and our well-being, but for the planet that we live on. We are all little gods, little kings and queens who may or may not remember who we really are, but this power is inside of us, and it's our deep and profound responsibility to use this power wisely. Beautiful. Cut. Wisdom, 5. This is the Hierophant card from traditional tarot. This is that mentor figure, the one who has gone to the spiritual realm and come back with great wisdom to share with the wider world. This is another manifestation. Kings and, let's see here, kings and great religious leaders have always worked hand in hand to share power in the world. Sometimes they were one and the same. But these cards are both speaking to when that manifests in a benevolent manner, when that manifests in a form that is good for everyone, that is very loving, that has this caretaker feeling to it. And yeah, it's almost as if we're talking about benevolent stewardship in all areas. Whether it be religious or, spiritual or physical realms. The religious and the secular, the mystical and the scientific, any realm that we see as potentially being at odds with each other can work in cooperation. There is always that possibility of how about all of us come together and bring our different strengths to the table and find some way of making this world a better place instead of competing with each other. This is really, I don't know how this spread could be saying the same thing but in different flavors any more than it is. Really amazing. Great stuff. Seems like we are definitely all having to process a huge amount of data and new inspiration from this eclipse, and I hope you're all being very good to yourselves recently. All right, I'm going to get an Angel Answers card just to end this shortcut session and see what we should be remembering for the day. Oh, look, Big Happy Changes is back. Look at this amazing, victorious feeling that we have. No matter how scary things look out there on the world stage and in the news, no matter how up for grabs people's energy has been recently, a lot of people have been really scared throughout this eclipse season, really scared throughout this whole recent months, even up to like a couple of years. People have been afraid. The fear factor has been steadily rising as media outlets really love to report on the things that are really horrible, and it gets amplified in the echo chamber of social media, and people just love to hear the latest worst thing that happened, and I'm hoping we can really bounce back from that. I mean, the cards that we've been getting in these shortcuts are amazing, and I really think that this card sums it all up. No matter what doom and gloom anyone is preaching out there, for you, if you decide, like the Keepers of the Light deck said, and like the Flower deck said, if you decide that you're going to be heart-based, that you're going to derive a positive outcome no matter what plant pruning or repotting process the universe is putting us through, no matter what growth contrast that any of you are experiencing, in the end, it is all for this. You can see she's totally heart-based. She's got a rainbow around her, which means all of her chakras are in working order and are cooperating, and she's got the power that comes when that is happening, which she's a unified being. Her focus is not diluted. She knows who she is, and she's joyful. I mean, that laughter card is really coming through here. Joyful celebration of big happy changes. And at the top, this beautiful, shining light of pure God source enlightenment. This is having it all. This is having it all unapologetically, without shame, without fear, just out in the world and joyful and unabashed. So great. I'm so excited for this little shortcut session that we've had. I hope this will tide you over until I can get my general reading up, and I am grateful to all of you for your patience with that. I think it will be worth it because I am going to be so much more like this. I can really tell when I do the reading. Fabulous. As I've said in the beginning, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you will know when that general reading gets posted. I will try to do it as soon as possible, like in the next couple of days. Yeah, I love you all. I'm super excited for what the general reading has in store. I hope you all take advantage of the information from the astrological forecast, and I hope you really got a big boost of amazing positive energy from this series of shortcuts. And I will be back as soon as I can for the general reading. Thanks so much. Stay shiny.